Hey everyone, Coach Mark here. So we are halfway through the month of February. First and foremost, I want to wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day, depending on when you watch this video. Well, this week I'm not going to take up a lot of your time. I'm just going to do a little quick video just to inspire and motivate you to keep trudging along. Like I said, we're halfway through February, so we got 1.5 months down in 2017, and just the overall theme is like, don't give up, don't quit. Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba, it's probably worth probably close to around $30 billion. His company's worth a quarter trillion with a T, not a B, $1 trillion, right? Quarter trillion, 250 billion dollars. And there's a couple quotes that I want to share with you all today uh, that he came up with. The first one is today is hard, tomorrow will be worse, but the day after tomorrow will be sunshine. Here's the thing, you'll never ever get to the day after tomorrow if you just stand still or if you turn around. Just imagine like you're walking and you got to keep walking to get to the day after tomorrow, right? And what happens with most people is that once it starts raining, once life gets a little hard, they just retreat, right? So they never ever get to um, where it is that they want to get to. They never ever get to the day after tomorrow. You have some people that as soon as it starts raining, they just retreat. They're going to go back. They don't want no parts of the rain. They don't want no parts of the obstacles or anything. So they just retreat and they don't ever get anywhere. Then you have some people that say, you know what, I'm a trooper. I can take it. I'm going to keep going. And they keep going. They think that tomorrow is going to be the sunshine, and it's not the sunshine. It usually gets worse tomorrow, just like what Jack said. So they're going, and today it's raining, and then they get to tomorrow, and tomorrow's even like 10 times worse. It feels like a tornado, and that's when they get shook. And they turn around and say, ooh, hold up, hold up. The more that I walk, the further that I go, the worse it gets. Let me turn back around. So they end up turning back around. So they never ever get to the day after tomorrow. But those people that make it, that are successful in life, they say, you know what? If I keep walking, I'm going to end up walking past the rain. So let me just keep going. Doesn't make sense to turn back now. Let me just keep going. And that's exactly what they do. And those are the people that get to the day after tomorrow where the sunshine is. But you got to keep going. You got to keep moving. You got to just make up in your mind that you're not going to allow anything to stop you, right? Because if you do and you turn back, you'll never ever get to your promised land or whatever it is that you want to accomplish. All right. And then the second quote that I want to share with you from Jack. Jack has a lot of wisdom, man. I'm telling you. One of the best things that you could do is just study really, really successful people. These people didn't get there by luck, right? There's a reason why they've gotten there. So, I highly suggest, find a few people that have become really, really successful and read their books, watch their interviews, and trust me, you'll learn a whole lot. And if you apply what you learned, then there's no reason why you can't become as successful as them. Anyway, the next quote that I want to share with you from Jack that I recently came across is he talks about three reasons why he ended up surviving, right? Why Alibaba ended up surviving. Reason number one, they had no money. Reason number two, they had no technology. And reason number three, they had no plan. And because they had none of those things, they had to use every dollar wisely. A lot of times people think that you need all this money or you need all these tools in order to be successful. And what they don't realize is that a lot of times when you have all the resources, it doesn't force you to be creative, right? You're not creative. You're not thinking outside the box. You're doing everything the way that everybody else did it, and you end up losing the money. I've seen so many people just do my businesses and whatnot, start a new venture, and they had a bunch of money, but they were never ever successful. All the people that I always saw that ended up being successful were the people that started off with very, very, very little and had to figure it out. Even myself, when I think about the businesses that I start, 95% of the businesses that I started that have become successful were businesses that I started with very, very little money. Either because in the beginning I had no money, so I didn't even have that option of starting with money, or just as I figured out later on that, you know what, it doesn't necessarily take money. It just takes my hard work. It takes dedication. It takes my commitment and it takes my creativity. And that's what it takes in order to be successful. So it's not about the money. It's definitely not about the money. It's not about having all these different things. It's just you making up your mind that this is what it is that you want to do and making up your mind to do it and really adding your creativity to it, not coming at the business or the venture like what everybody else is doing. Thinking, okay, how can I be different? How can I separate myself from all the competitors? And once you start to think like that and do a little different, you're going to make mistakes because you're going to make mistakes out of the way. So you're going to make mistakes, but guess what? The differences between you and everyone else is what's going to separate you, right? And that's what's going to cause you to excel. Like in my power and a half hour call that I did this week, I talked about a guy named Bernie, and he started up a speakers bureau. And in the beginning, it was very, very hard for him. His first year, he only made $700, right? He had only gotten one client during his first year of business, and he had quit his job. His wife had quit her job, so they were just surviving off a little bit of money that they pulled out of their home, and it was very, very rough. But he figured out a way to do business that was different from the way that everyone else in the industry was doing it. And that one key fact, on top of the fact that he worked extremely hard for his clients, right, is what caused him to excel. So this guy that made $700 in his first year is now has a business that's generating over $150 million a year just by being different, right? By being different and by being good and providing the best possible service that he can to all of his customers. So just keep that in mind. And I want to end this off by going back to the quote that I initially talked about with Jack Ma. Just remember this, okay? Today is hard. Tomorrow will be even worse. Just remember this, right? Because so many of us think that, okay, today is hard, but tomorrow will be better. So we start walking along that journey. And then when it gets a little bit worse, right? When those winds go from category 1 or 2 hurricane winds to category 4 or 5, then we think that that's a sign to turn back around. But no, it isn't. It's a time for us to keep going, because if we keep going, if we turn back around, the hurricane is following us, right? But if we keep going, we're going to end up passing the hurricane and we're going to make it to the sunshine. So just remember, today's hard, tomorrow will be worse. But the day after tomorrow will be sunshine. All right. Thank you much. And until next week.